Hello and welcome back to the Garian Tabletop. I am Garian Reaver and I'm back in the Legends of Runeterra. This time I am taking a break from Path of Champions to try out a deck that I've made because of Path of Champions. I love Leona and the Daybreak stuff. It's probably one of my favourite decks up there with Gwen. And while I was playing the Leona Path of Champions, I got Ahri as the support champion, and it meshed really well. So I have made an alternate version of my new day deck named Daycycle, which adds in Ahri and some recall stuff from Ionia to try and get the good effects repeatedly from Daybreak stuff. I don't need two of those. This is one of the new cards added in one of the Darkin events. Nice, a 1, 2, and a 3. That's like the perfect combination of cards to get at the beginning of this. The Hawk is better, but it's still not a bad combination. So this deck is still almost entirely Daybreak cards. Ahri is, I think, the only ally I have that is not Daybreak. And that's because she allows recall and has some cool recall-related abilities. Alright, I'll just try and get rid of the one with Overwhelm. My strategy is still controlling the field with like these little boosts until I can get Leona out. Ah, Ahri, nice. I'm gonna go for Ahri.
I'll see all this world has to offer.
I don't want him to hit, really. No, I do. I'm fine with that. I can take it, it's fine. I'm sorry. So, this is still one of my favourite decks, and the whole Leona thing in Path of Champions makes her one of my favourite characters in that as well. And the Solari Sunhawk is just fantastic. A little while ago, in one of the Darkin events, they overhauled a lot of Daybreak stuff. Like, they made it a skill rather than just a thing, I believe. They also... Oh no, never mind, it is just a thing. They also changed a lot of cards, like the Sun Guardian, I think used to be 6 cost, like a 5/5 with Overwhelm, and then they made it a lot sort of more entry level, which is, I think, is a good change. I actually use it a lot more. But in this case, you recall something, so what I want to do is I want to recall the Sunhawk. So she'll swap with the ally to her right and recall it. It doesn't really matter about this. I can actually use this to get him back, which I think I will do. But she switches and then recalls, so I get my ability to stun again. So it is a really, really fantastic thing. I will place him because he is one of the few that get... I say he is a giant orb. That is one of the things that gains power, ongoing stuff from Daybreak. And this means I can play this again. Whereas normally, you'd have to draw a second one, or you'd have to get some other way of reactivating it, like Morning Light. But with Ahri, it does allow them to be reusable. I don't think it's fully perfect yet. I haven't got quite used to integrating her into the strategy yet. She does still feel a little bit superfluous. But overall... right, let's give her a boost to make her a little bit stronger. Because quick attack is best if it can kill things, and we're starting to get higher level stuff that she can't just kill. So what I will do then is I will also buff her and stun that. Because the downside of Ahri is she switches, but then if they block the thing she switches with something that can kill her, then she will still die. So ideally you want her to essentially be able to kill anything, and no matter what she goes up against, she will win. So I place this one, and this one again, and the order is very important with Ahri. More so when she gets the next... when she gets the level up and then recalls everything to the right of her. So she will be able to hit twice, meaning the higher attack comes into use, and I get my stun again. It's a fun combination, and it does fit better into my strategy than the Nightfall I had in my old New Day deck. Because I ran out of Daybreak cards to put into the deck, and it's like, oh, well, I kind of need to fill the space. I'll use Nightfall so that I'm not stuck with a load of cards I can't really use best. And ones like Shield Vault are just useful because they fit the theme, they fit the mesh because of the stun and stuff, and allow me to do a bit more targeted stunning like this. I don't want them attacking with Elusive because I have no way to counter it. I think I will also kill that off. Doesn't have Daybreak because I haven't got Ravun out yet, but it means he's not going to get ahead of me in mana gems. Morning Light, which did get quite a nerf. It used to activate all Daybreak effects, but that created quite a snowball effect, which I obviously enjoyed as a Daybreak player, but was a bit unbalanced. Now we're up to 8. It's entirely possible that he has Tryndamere, so let's go for continuing to buff Ahri. Yeah, I knew it. I knew he would. And see, that's the problem because he won't die. He will level up instead, and then he will kill Ahri. So, yeah, he's 9 health and tough, so not a lot I can do there, but she will survive it because of Sunblazed Vigor. So, yeah, I can't hit him twice, so I need to trigger it. So let's go for... or I could just stun him. Yeah, he's the highest power one. I could just stun him. And Ahri's got Overwhelmed still, so the higher attack will still be useful. Okay, yeah, that fixed my problem. I will also get him because I kind of need to clear his field a bit.
Proud warriors of the sun's true light.
This changes the deck a little into less of a build up the army smash, but I think that's partially because I haven't got Ravun. No, it's not worth saving him. I was on the fence, but no, I think it's better to just weaken their forces. I've got a bit unlucky that I haven't drawn Leona or Ravun at all. And we're what, halfway? Yeah, almost halfway through my deck. And I've got 3 Leona and 3 Ravun because they're so essential to this build. But I can stun Tryndamere again. The ability to recall specific ones like this and the recall spells, which I've only had like 1 or 2 of, they are really, really useful for controlling the board. He's not attacking because Ahri can kill any of them. Another Hawk, great. Oh, no. Silence won't stop his level up. Yeah, I don't think Silence will stop that, but I can stun him again. Because if you can't kill something, just immobilize it. Ahri can still kill everything. He can kill that, so I reckon he'll block the Sun Guardian with the Emerald Awakener. That's okay though, because I will buff it so that it doesn't die. Was that the right thing? Yeah, I only need 1 to be recallable. Yeah, I only need 1. Because until I have Ravun, I can only Daybreak once per turn. I think that was worth it. He's now fully healed though, but he's also left with nothing. Just Tryndamere, who I will continue to immobilize. Oh, that's scary. That is very scary. I'm very glad I can stun him, because that would be the end. And he's now out of cards. So if I also kill him, control. I reckon I'm going to draw Leona or Ravun. I just have that feeling, which means they're going to use the Daybreak. Yeah, alright, I'll play the Sun Guardian, because I'm going to go full attack. Or... oh no! That's not what I wanted. Oh, wow, I really kind of bet everything on that one, didn't I? Yeah, I think I need to do this. He's only got one thing. It's probably a unit. But it's not a unit. Okay, so it's going to be a spell. That's not a problem. I think I'm going to lose Ahri, but I should win the game. So if I attack with all of these, if he wants to kill Ahri, he's going to have to take that hit and all of these. If he wants to kill that, he's going to have to take these hits. I think I've got it. Yep. Just controlling the board enough. I can't believe I didn't draw Ravun or Leona in this game. Ah.
Now I hunt.
I'm not enamored with her design. Actually, does her ability activate now? Oh, hell, it does. Okay. Honestly, did not know that. So I lost Ahri in the end anyway. Yeah, still really learning with Ahri. I literally bought all of the copies I have of her for this deck, so apart from in Path of Champions, I've never played with her. Let's try another one. This one has Seraphine, I think is the name. Oh, that is a very pretty card back. And, oh, look at that. I mean, I don't really want 2 5s in my hand, but Ravun and Leona are both so essential, I'm not getting rid of either of them. What a starting hand. Seraphine and Master Yi. I couldn't remember if there was an A on the end of that. So this is a deck I've not actually encountered at all. I have mostly been playing Path of Champions.
I don't do meditation.
Yeah, I can't do anything about them, so I may as well just get Ahri. No need to do any daybreaking yet, because it would only save me 1 damage, and I'd rather get Ahri out sooner rather than later. The downside... Oh, what? What's their thing? Oh, Nexus Strike recall me and transform me into wind. Okay, fair enough. I did not realize that would be a thing. That's okay, though. I will just attack, because I don't want to waste the Sunhawk by stunning when I don't need to stun. Recall an ally to give an enemy vulnerable. No use. That's no use either. Alright, I'm just gonna... Let's get in my turn. Creative Preparation. Reduce the cost of 1. Oh, that's a decent combination. I've heard people talk about Seraphine being really powerful. I haven't seen it because the few times I've used her has been in Path of Champions as a support champion, and she just came across as quite underwhelming in that. So it's really hard to tell. Alright, I am going to block with that. Does he have a way to kill? Probably not. Ionia isn't really one for little strikey spells. Oh yeah, that'll do it though. Yeah, he's surviving. Sorry. And then this way I have the Hawk that I can continually cycle. Not that I need to, because it's time for Ravun and Leona. If I go for, let's see, I'm on the attack, so if I go for Leona, because she'll stun, and then I can get Ravun next turn and hopefully have the mana to play. No, I won't be able to play the Hawk as well. But I am I'm in a decent position here. Oh, stop playing cards. Yeah, I think this is the downside of Seraphine decks. They have so many spells, and mixing that with like a spell-focused Ionia. Like, Lee Sin irritates me so much because he's always got little buffing spells and they irritate me greatly. But let's go for this. She's going to block Leona. I don't really want her to. Alright, I'm going to hold Leona back. I don't want Leona to get damaged down to 2. And I know that if she had attacked, I could have used Morning Light, but I could have used Vulnerable as well. That's okay. Still learning with a lot of these new cards. Like, well, I mean that's an Ahri card, but Shia Vault's a new one, and the Ionia stuff is new to this deck, and therefore new to me for the most part. Don't think I've had like an Ionia deck. I suppose I've got like Karma. Seraphine is out. 4 out of 9 new spells. They don't have a lot of attack power between them, so that's not much of a threat. I think I'll just go for Raven, so that I have the daylight. If you're unaware, Raven's thing is he is integral to Daybreak decks, because while he is on the field, you always get the Daybreak effect from playing Daybreak cards. If I block... That seems risky. Why would they attack with that if they didn't have a strategy? I'm going to block him. If they have a trick, then I'll recall her, because I don't want her to die. They don't have a trick. Why are they sacrificing Seraphine? I mean, if they've got a second one, but still, that seems a very odd decision. The AI confuses me with the decisions they make sometimes. Yeah, so you've got a full hand now because of these things you're repeatedly bringing back. 3 of 4, so this will level her up. But I don't need to go for the Hawk, because normally I'd play the Hawk because, you know, it's Daybreak. But that's not a very powerful thing to stun, so instead I go for the Sun Guardian. That's enough to level up Leona, and Ravun means that I can continue to play more Daybreaks and get more of the abilities. Okay. Alright, that's the second one of them. Not a problem. Block that with Ravun. Probably the last time I'm going to use Ravun in combat. Oh, that's a massive dick move. Was that a burst? It was, so I couldn't have. Damn! That's really stuffed me. Oh. So I can't stun. Except by using Morning Light. Good news is they're out of mana, so I can play a little silly now. So if I just go for the Stellarcorn, I don't need the Daybreak effect because I'll just recall it using Ahri instead. And this is more just to, yeah.
You missed a step.
Yeah, I mean, I should have seen that coming because the others are just going to hit with quick attack, but I don't like Leona being that weak. Okay, they might pull some trick, but again, they don't really have damaging spells. Then again, they are Piltover as well, who do, but this doesn't seem like... I'm sort of judging this deck as I go. Alright, yes, by all means, stun. And now if I play the Solari Sunhawk, Freudian slip, it's going to stun both of them. Because it activates Leona's ability, and that will also stun a second. And give herself barrier, which is the change they did for that. What's she up to now? 6. Alright, what I'm going to do is I'm going to record... No, that's very cheap. You could just replay her. I'll play the Guardian. I don't think she's going to attack because Leona will just kill her. Alright, yeah, you'll be able to attack with that one. And if that's the only attack you're doing, I'm going to do this. So I'll recall Leona because I don't like her being on such low health. And also get Seraphine out of there. I'll just take the 1 damage. I don't really know what they're doing with this. I don't actually know much about Master Yi. Let's have a look. Flow. This is a mechanic I've not really come to terms with. Yeah, spells and flow. Fair enough. Let's get Leona back out. She immediately gets her barrier back, but this time she's up to 6 health instead of just 1. Makes me feel a lot happier. In Path of Champions... the abilities in Path of Champions are so good. They are amazing. And I will Daybreak the Hawk. Because that will stun 1 for him. It'll also trigger Leona's ability to stun a second. In Path of Champions, every single ally you have, Daybreak or not, has a Daybreak effect of gain plus 1/1. So, essentially, as you play through the game, all of your things get more powerful. I think it's like give all allies 1/1 or all Daybreak allies 1/1 or something like that. It's a really good combo. I think I've actually just got this. Yeah, I think I've got this. So if I Daybreak on the Sun Guardian so he powers up a little more, So they all get 1-1 again. Stun that one with Leona's effect. And he's a bit more buffed. And they're just defending with a 1-1. Oh, and a 2-2. Why did you play 2? Oh, because it was a focus card. Yeah, never mind. Alright, let's have you two out. And you two out. Do I have it? 4-8. No, I don't. Damn. Alright, let's go for you then. Alright, so he's going to have to block. He's probably going to block the Sun Guardian with it, because he doesn't have Overwhelm, sadly. Haven't drawn any Zenrian Blades, or whatever they're called. Still, I'm not in a bad position here. They are very close to leveling up Seraphine, which could be a problem. I don't really know what she does. Copy to the same targets. Alright, I guess we'll just go for the stun. So that stops the 5 attack one. Oh, would you stop with the whimsy? Yeah, whatever. 1 and 2. Yeah, I'll take that again. He doesn't really have much way of fighting back. Like, he's just chipping away at me, and it's because I'm not being really aggressive that he's able to. But also, a lot of my, like, aggressive recalling and stunning abilities don't really matter because they've got such low cost and such low power. I'm just... sure, whatever. Continue. I'll win next turn. Oh, shoot, that's temporary. Oh, I didn't realise that was temporary. Doesn't matter, it's fine. Have I got this? Yeah, let's go for the Solarius Sunforger to get some lifesteal and recover some health. I don't think I've got it this turn, but I don't like spending 10 minutes trying to work out if you've got lethal when you can just play the turn and, yeah, play a bit fast and loose. I find more fun. Ooh, that would be challenging. That would be worrying if I couldn't do this. So, power everybody up. The lack of overwhelm in this deck is a bit of a problem now. Like, you really do need this Zenrian Blade, or whatever it's called, in order to get overwhelm. I think I'm going to use Ahri's Charm, recall the Hawk to get rid of Seraphine. Oh, very nice. She's now elusive. That won't help when they're blocked. Alright, let's buff her in order to stun that one, sure. So Ahri's a little bit more powerful, but why aren't they doing anything? And then play the Sunhawk just to give Ahri an extra attack, basically. So anyone I don't want recalled has to go to the left, and everyone I'm fine with being recalled to the right. So let's have Seraphine there. We also have him there. I mean, I don't know why I was umming and ahhing over this, because I definitely had that. Yeah, I'm still kind of clumsy with this. Like, I still feel I'm not using Ahri to the best of her ability. Like, I had a couple of test games where she just... because when she levels up, when she recalls an ally, their cost is reduced by 1 until they're played again. So that was really good for guaranteeing that I could continue to play a lot of these. But it again relies on Ravun. And I didn't get another one in that match. That's the biggest problem with Daybreak. In order to make it competitive mid to late game, you need Ravun. Without him, you're really limited in getting the Daybreak bonuses. So you've seen basically what's in this. We didn't see Heaven Aligned, but I thought we didn't see the Shield Breaker either. Zenith Blade, what's Zenrian? I don't know what Zenrian is, but Zenith Blade is the one I was thinking of. Everything else we saw. Also, I've got the Corrupted Leona skin on because it's just really cool. Also, complete tangent. In Path of Champions, I've been playing with the Corrupted skin on Leona, and I gave her the Relic, which means she essentially eats an ally to gain their stats and keywords. And it's so thematic to just have her just like, yes, give me your power, just absorbing one of her allies to gain power. It's just so cool. Anyway, if you have suggestions on better ways to use Ahri or changes I can make to this deck, like, I mean, I don't think there are any ways to guarantee I get Ravun, because I've got 3 copies and 3 copies of Leona. But if you have any ideas, if you have any suggestions or tips or any kind of advice, really, I'm always open to learning to play better. Thank you very much for watching. Subscribe to Gary and Tabletop for more board games, card games like this, miniatures and D&D, and I will catch you later.